So the time is almost upon us. All of the ballots are in, and the Oscars are this coming Sunday. Now, I do want to rank my Best Picture nominees before I reveal who I think is going to win and who I hope is going to win. Now, I do want to say I have not seen I'm Still Here, and it's not because I feel too snooty tooty about it. It's not out on digital. And the theaters that it's at, I either can't go because of the time, or they're just at these super like independent theaters. So they only have like they only have like two show times really. So that's the only one I didn't see. So when I'm ranking them, just know that I'm Still Here does not have a good nor bad standing. But I did watch the other nine. So we're going to start off with a strong nine. Of course, Amelia Perez. I made a video about Amelia Perez. If you want to see what I think about it in depth, make sure you go and watch that video. It's a mess. Just to bring it to a nice, concise point, I think that Amelia Perez is a mess of a movie. And it had the potential to be something good. And then they added music. It was just like, okay, this is ridiculous. At number 8, I have A Complete Unknown. That movie seemed the most Oscar bait-esque. It did not really go into depth about Bob Dylan. It really was just about what Bob Dylan stood for and his messaging. Someone on Letterboxd also said, if nothing else, it's got me to give Dylan's music another shot. This movie just has nothing to say. Lightly grazes anything of interest before kicking into another song. Not a bad watch though. And it's honestly, it's not. It's not a bad watch. It is just like, I see where we're going. I see where we're getting at. Okay, the message is like, oh, well, artists never get to do what they want. Artists never get to step outside of the box, which I'm not mad at that, but it was just, that was all. Every character was very surface, which just made for a mediocre watch. But Timothée Chalamet did do a great job, so it's not at the bottom. For number 7, I have Honora. I'm oddly seeing everybody put Honora at the top of their rankings, and no shade, no shade, but I do feel like we are saying this because it's directed by Sean Baker and not because the movie was good. Even on Twitter, Film Updates asked people, rank this year's Best Picture nominees. And almost in every one, I see Honora in their top 3, and I just can't get on the Honora train. I think it was a very shallow look at the story of a stripper, and it just came off as a damn, that's crazy kind of story. And I just feel like for 2 hours of my time, we could have got to know Honora a little bit better because she is the titular character. Now, at number 6, I do have The Brutalist. I also have a video about The Brutalist, so if you want me to talk about that in depth, make sure you go and watch that video. All in all, I think that they did not stick the landing. I think that it was very ambitious, and they had us in the first half. And then towards the end, it just seemed like they were trying to juggle too many balls and ended up dropping all of them and just gave us something quick and cheap and concise to wrap the movie up in a bow, which did nothing for me. But the cinematography was beautiful, and I do think Adrian Brody's performance carried a lot. In addition to Guy Pearce, their performances carried a lot of that movie, and without those actors, I think that movie would be a lot lower on this ranking list. At number 5, I have Wicked. I don't have anything against Wicked. That's why it's in the middle of the pack. And I have been seeing people tweet about Wicked going home with nothing at every award show they go to. One person on Twitter said, so you're telling me Wicked only won one award? Another person said, unfortunate that Wicked hasn't won any awards, but fear they're clearing with the second film. And I also agree, and I don't even think it's a snubbed kind of situation happening with Wicked. I think that it's honestly just some stiff competition. And when you have the best of the best movies, you can see what will kind of rise to the top, what will kind of ride the middle, which is like The Wicked, The Brutalist, things like that, and then what kind of falls to the bottom. And Wicked is just kind of coasting. It's not horrible, but it's not the best thing. And I think that's okay. I don't think we have to freak out. I think with their second film, like I said earlier, that's when they're going to get their real shot around award season. At number 4, I have Nickel Boys. I doubt that Nickel Boys will win, but I think Nickel Boys will be the biggest upset if it won for Best Picture. The cinematography is so innovative. And not only is the cinematography innovative, it is innovative for a movie like this. This film is so devastating. And it really will have you just, after you watch it, you have to sit with yourself for a minute just to collect all your emotions. Not only is the cinematography amazing, but it is amazingly acted. A lot of these actors had to interact with the camera essentially and spit monologues in a way, and it's just, it doesn't even make sense. It's honestly a crime that this movie is not nominated for cinematography. Out of all of the films that I'm mad about being snubbed or whatever, this film not being nominated for cinematography is a lie. It's simply a lie. I know that they won Best Cinematography at the Spirit Awards, but I don't know. I think that, once again, the Academy is a bit full of shit. Now we're in our big three territory. At number 3, I have Dune Part 2. There has been a crazy erasure of Dune Part 2. Zendaya was not nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Like I said before, Timothée Chalamet was not nominated for his performance in Dune Part 2. I don't know. I just feel like we're all forgetting how this movie was all over everything we've seen back in April when it was released. I don't know how we forgot about Austin Butler's performance in the arena scene. I don't know how we forgot about Paul riding a worm for the first time. For some reason, Dune has just fell off the face of the earth during the award season, which is very odd and very fake. Variety has been putting out articles all day pissing us off about what these anonymous voters have been saying. And one voter simply said, I didn't watch it because I thought it was too long and I didn't like Dune Part 1, so I didn't watch it. Why that's even acceptable as an Academy voter, I don't know. I think it's hilarious that they're staying anonymous because they know they're tripping out. But whatever. It's in my top 3 because I think Dune Part 2 was one of the best films I watched last year. At number 2, I have The Substance. We finally have a horror movie getting shine during the Oscars. Us got no looks, okay? No looks at all. And I don't know what it is about once again, the Academy feeling like horror is not up to snuff. But thankfully, we have The Substance. I think Demi Moore did an amazing job. This movie feels like a Black Mirror episode in movie form. The only reason that Substance is not number 1 is because towards the end, this movie became a hat on top of a hat on top. It started insisting upon itself. Where you're like, okay, I understand that what this is about. You do not have to drive it into my head and pummel it into my head. But everybody knows, if you've seen this movie, everyone knows, or every woman knows the mirror scene and how deeply it affects you, because that's exactly how we act. And I think that Coralie turning this horror back to us and showing the horror in which women treat themselves as far as how they look, it was just very masterfully done. Very simple, very effective. And it's horror and it's gore. And I don't know. I feel like you can't beat that. Once I was watching it, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. And last but not least, Conclave. Conclave, to me, is the best movie. I think everything in this film is perfect. It was a surprise. I did not know anything about Conclave when I went into it. I went into it blind. And I was surprised by the cinematography and the framing. I was surprised that this movie is mostly dialogue, not too much action, and I was engaged the entire time. The pacing keeps you engaged the entire time. I think this movie had a perfect blend of soap opera-ness. There were themes of innocence. There were themes of politics and truth-seeking and faith and honesty and what the church is supposed to stand for versus what it has become to stand for. All of these things happening in this movie that you really don't expect to be as good as it is. My favorite Letterboxd comment about this movie is, "Your Eminence, may I spill the tea?" And that's exactly what this movie feels like. It feels like you're going to someone's high school and everybody's telling you about all the drama between everyone while they are in the middle of voting for school president. And I think because it's such a unexpected hit with me, I think that's what really strikes me. So because of that, I would be voting Conclave for Best Picture. I think that The Brutalist is gonna win it, but then I'm seeing all these people talking about Anora, so I think Anora might win, but I also think The Substance might win. So I don't know. I actually enjoyed the fact that this year it is a lot more unpredictable. Last year, I knew for a fact that Oppenheimer was going to win, so it wasn't a surprise when they won. Any other movie than Oppenheimer would have been an upset. But this year, I feel like the movies are really duking it out, and I'm really excited to see who is going to take home the gold. I don't know about you guys, but I will be going to the Oscars on my couch. I will be dressed up because I also dressed up last time for the Oscars. I feel like you have to dress up for this occasion. See if the films that you voted on win. See if everybody gets their just due, which they're not. I know that some way, somehow, the Academy is going to piss me off. But I don't know. I feel like maybe I get a kick out of it, and that's why I keep watching every year. So make sure you follow me on Letterboxd. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Who do you guys think is going to win Best Picture? What are your ranks for Best Picture? What is your top 3? What's your top 5? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.